Alright, so I've seen this question a ton in the forums, and so this is a Y-axis lathe with live tooling, and I'm doing some radial milling, and I noticed that the center line is off in the Y, and people ask all the time, I noticed, how you actually determine how much the Y-axis is off in the radial, because it's the, if it's a axial tool, you can just indicate it from the end and spin it around and you can just dial in your center line. But on a radial tool, Y-axis to the center line of the spindle, this is how I do it. I had a video on this. It's a little wireless indicator. It's called the Vindicator. This is what I use. So it has this thing right here. Anyways, so the biggest important thing is that you make sure your machine Z is in the same spot when you do 180 degrees. So right now we're gonna jog Z, and I already done it, so I know it's 14.7 minus 14.7 in the Z right here. So we're gonna jog this thing. This is on the Haas ST20. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to that 14.7. And it can be any number, it doesn't really matter. It just, when you indicate this in, you just want to make sure the stylus, it doesn't even have to be perfectly on center line of your tool, it just needs to be in the same position on that tool in Z. So now all you do is, with this thing, you look for the high point, so you rotate this thing back and forth. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus. So you rotate it back and forth, and then you come over here and you look at this, and what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for the lowest number, or actually the highest, which is like 18, looks like 18.6, right? So now what you do is you jog it back out, and then you rotate the whole thing 180 degrees. And obviously your stylus has to be pretty close. And you just set it low, it's just all ghetto in there, but it just matters when you rotate it. It rotates the same. Okay, now we jog it back over to that 14.7. So 14, 5, 6, 7, okay? So there's our number, but see, if we rock this thing back and forth, you'll find your low. So 18.3. So I think I was 18.4, or sorry, 8 and 4/10 on the other side. This is like 8 and 3, so that's plenty good. So that number just grows. You just rock it back and forth, and what you're looking for is you're looking for that low spot. And then if it's off, you just jog your machine. If it's a Y-axis machine, you would jog the Y up and down. So what you would do is you would set it 0 here first. So what I did is I came over here, I just had some random number and I hit 0. So now that was 0. And then I went 180 and then, got my low point, and it was actually 18, I believe, or 16. It was like 16.8. So then what I did is I jogged the machine that half the distance between 0 and 16.8, and then that's how I got that 8.4. And then now my center line in my Y, so center line of the part. So if I actually mill or drill this part on center line this way, it will be in center line of the part, and that's how you do it. So hope this will help some people out, because I've seen this a lot. If you don't have Y-axis, that becomes a pain, but you could probably move the tool holder. That's harder said than done, but realistically, if your turret is good, all your pockets should be the same in Y. So in this case, on this pocket, I think this pocket actually had gotten messed up. A little key slot had gotten dented, so I think that's why the Y is shifted a little bit in this pocket. But yeah.